If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. One of the things I've been talking about, obviously something that's in the news every day, is the destruction of these monuments from Albert Pike, these Confederates all the way down. Again, I'm not pro or anti it because I don't believe in having these statues of these false idols. But again, if you understand the big picture, then you should be against what they're doing, but this is for what they believe is the greater good because these statues represent history. Now, Christopher Columbus has become the latest target over the last few weeks, where in almost every state that there is a statue of Columbus, it's getting torn down. Well, I want to show you some predictive programming that show that this was going to happen in advance. And some people might say, well, yeah, I mean, that makes sense that it would have happened. Well, if all that was beaten into our heads when we were kids was how wonderful Christopher Columbus was. We have Columbus Day and all this stuff. Shouldn't people at least now question then what they're being taught in the school system, right, about a fake history? Because we weren't taught that Columbus was a racist. Now, I couldn't care less about Columbus ever. And even as an Italian, I couldn't care less because he's not Jesus Christ. He's just some guy. And I don't believe in history anyway. I think it's all a bunch of lies. But don't you think now with everything that's coming out, people would go, we were taught he was a wonderful man, but he wasn't a wonderful man. Then why would the school system teach us that? Maybe we should start questioning what the bigger agenda is and who's behind it and who's pushing the narrative. But here's some predictive programming of exactly what is happening or just occurred in New Jersey, let alone the fact that it's already occurred around the country in many, many states. The statues have been beheaded. But in New Jersey with the taking down of the Columbus statue.
Listen to this shit. The New Jersey Council of Indian Affairs has announced plans to disrupt Monday's Columbus Day parade in Newark. Members and supporters will lie down in the path of Columbus Day marches, quote, in protest of Columbus's role in the genocide of America's native peoples, unquote. To launch their protest, the Native Americans and their sympathizers plan to begin a death watch tomorrow over the statue of Columbus in Christopher Columbus Park.
I'll tell you what it is. It's anti-Italian discrimination. Columbus Day is a day of Italian pride.
In the words of Chief Seattle, for the last red man shall have perished, in the memory of my tribe.
Take it down.
He's going to burn the way our ancestors did.
Go sit down, cupcake. We're not taking... Everybody!
I'll remember this, Joey.
Get away from me. Hey! Come on, you two.
Oh, this guy, huh? Oh. Now, I'm not into the whole Italian heritage or any type of heritage like that. I just want to make it clear to people out there, if you're black, Hispanic, Asian, white, they don't care about skin color, and you should not either. This isn't about the color of your skin. This is about your tribe. And by tribe, we all know what I mean, Bagelville. Because we are going to them, whether we're white people or black people. They want to destroy all of us. They're using this thing that they've created through the media and through the oppression that has occurred in the past to absolutely fire people up. People who have been locked down in their own homes, quarantined, who had nothing better to do, who don't even have to go to work anymore because they can't go to work. And this is what they're taking out their free time on, right? There's no sports for them to root for. This is all part of a plan that they have had planned the entire time. Lock people up, create these events again, People will be fired up. They'll want to participate, and we could bring about quote unquote change. But the change that they're talking about is the deletion of history, right? A history that wasn't even real in the first place. What did we always hear about Columbus? The whole story of Columbus was what? He discovered a new world. How symbolic this is that not only nobody's getting arrested for tearing these down, by the way. Nobody. Pretty interesting, right? I mean, you'd think if you can't even pee outside on the side of the road without getting a ticket for peeing in public, let alone destruction of public property and federal property or whatever they call these statues and these monuments. No one's getting arrested, and they're getting torn down everywhere. And he's supposed to be a symbol of Americana. We still have a national holiday. Very interesting. And he's the one who was supposed to find the new world. Well, now we're seeing the new world order come to pass. We're seeing the new world order brought upon in front of us by the destruction of these statues and the destruction of the flag, right? I keep saying it and people don't want to believe it. And they go, you don't know what you're talking about. And I ask them how old they are. But most of them are boomers or older. Yes, and some my age, and they go, all right, well, it's still not going to happen. Every story that's come out in the last week, all sporting teams around the globe, not in the U.S., the globe, are kneeling at their own flag and refusing to stand up to the flag. Why? Because it's about building a one world, uniting everyone as one, eliminating a history of countries being against each other and world wars, which were created by these same people who are causing the civil unrest right now. The American flag is going to be bye-bye. The united flag is going to be the flag. And I've shown predictive programming of them talking about this, and still people go, well, it's just TED Talk. Well, that's exactly where we saw Bill Gates tell us all about the depopulation and what was planned.
Why is there no flag for the world and one world flag? We are living in very uncertain times. We are facing humanitarian, resource, and climate crisis, as we heard also before. In this situation, if there is one thing that we need, it's unity. And unity on earth needs a symbol. My goal is to reactivate a conversation about a flag for the world. And what better way to start this topic than by proposing our own one world flag design. This is my flag design that is minimalistic. Hello. This is my flag design for a flag that is minimalistic, easy understandable, and reproducible. Just take a blue circle and you have it. The purpose of this flag is to give a sense of unity, belonging, and hope to the people hanging it. Thank you.
I love art, like really love art. But I also really love the idea of world peace. So I came up with an idea to use my art skills to promote world peace and unity. What if, instead of each country having its own flag, the world had a flag? After all, aren't we all human? Aren't we all one big group of people? I think if we had one flag, people would be more respectful and tolerant of others because it would unite all of us. Maybe it could even stop the wars and end discrimination. If we were all one, we wouldn't need borders and everyone would have a chance to be welcome everywhere. Now, we shouldn't make people feel different or lonely. I know it's a little far-fetched, but just imagine a group of people working together to make rules for the whole world, like a big group of presidents of the world.
It is about the removal of history and the flag to bring about a new world. And isn't that funny? Because this is how sigil magic works and witchcraft works, that Columbus's statues are not being taken down, they're being beheaded across the entire country. And again, I could not care about the statues in itself. It's about what's coming from this. And what's coming is the New World Order. And yes, I understand most people say it is here, because it is. It is. But until we have this united one world flag, until we have no more passports, we have global citizenship, we have global currency, which is coming, and a global religion, which will be a new age type of religion, which will be under the all-seeing eye of Lucifer. All these people will worship. Now, Christians like me and you, we're not going to be around to live for it, because even if we are around, we're going to be destroyed or killed off or jailed, imprisoned, because we're not going to accept it. And everyone's going to turn on us and say that we're hateful and we're bigots because of the book we read known as the Bible and what's taught in the Bible. But I wanted to point this out with Columbus. This is more predictive programming. This is Sopranos showing it. I'm sure it's in other movies as well, but that's exactly what just occurred in the last few days in New Jersey. The same exact spot, the statue, and fights among citizens that look almost the same. I mean, they weren't throwing bottles at each other's heads and things like that, but very similar. And remember, it's always done in predictive programming. They always tell you in advance what they're going to do. And for those of you who ask, the reason is because that's how sigil magic works. It enhances the power of their witchcraft. These people are witches and Satanists. They believe in magic, whether you do or not. You've been indoctrinated to think magic is fake. Yet everything you see on TV and in the movies is about magic. Every Disney movie is about magic. Cinderella's slipper, Beauty and the Beast, the rose, Magic Kingdom, Magic this, Harry Potter. There's a reason for that. And the reason's really clear. The Satanists have taken over. And they now have full control of the latest generation, Generation Z, in their minds. And they're pushing this about right now, and they are not taking their foot off the pedal. So make sure you're right with God. Make sure you know exactly what's going on. And don't get lost in your walk, because that's what's most important, finding your salvation. If you don't have it, and if you have salvation, help other people who need help. Do whatever you can to lead them to God during these times. Hand them a Bible. Talk to them. They can only save themselves through Christ. You can't do that. Only the power of Christ can do that. But if you can get them to open the Bible and you get them to see these things, then you're doing everything you possibly can to help the lost who are living right now amongst the chaos. It is chaos. Absolute chaos. I want to thank everyone for listening to today's show. A reminder, please check out my website at callforanuprising.com if you haven't. It's $2.99 a month. I'd appreciate if people joined. It's a safe haven if anything happens here on YouTube. And the Patrons, because of you, it keeps this channel going. So if you prefer to watch my content on YouTube, please consider becoming a Patreon. I greatly appreciate all of you. I thank you so much for your support. God bless you and your families.